international friendlies. Good afternoon. ITV Digital has been placed in administration until April 15th. The High Court has heard an application by its owners, Granada and Carlton Communications, after they failed to reach an 11th hour deal with the Football League. The broadcaster owes the league more than £178 million from its original 3-year deal, but had hoped to cut its payments. Nick Bashford has this report.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
When it was launched back in 1998 on Digital, as it was then called, became the world's first digital terrestrial network. Although it offered viewers fewer channels than Sky Digital and less interactivity, it was trumpeted as quick and easy. No satellite dish required, just a normal rooftop aerial and a decoder. But since then, the service has struggled, attracting just 1.2 million subscribers compared to the 5.7 million who've signed up to be Sky B. Although in many ways Britain has led the way in digital technology, the numbers of subscribers haven't been as high as owners Carlton and Granada expected, a problem undoubtedly exacerbated by a major recession. Crucially for those two companies, advertising revenue has been far lower than expected.
We should get on digital.
Yeah, you're right, we should get on digital.
Except there isn't an on digital. It's now called ITV Digital.
Last year On Digital was rebranded ITV Digital in a bid to attract more subscribers. Despite this, the current level of subscription is still a long way short of the break-even target of 1.7 million.
To be very realistic, it hasn't gone that wrong for ITV Digital. It's gone very badly wrong for ITV Digital's two shareholders, the Carlton Communications and Granada Media. They've suffered an awful recession for TV advertising in living memory.
ITV Digital's biggest contract was with the English Football League to show first, second and third division action. But the new ITV Sport channel hasn't been able to attract the audience levels it would have hoped for. ITV Digital said it couldn't afford to pay the remaining £178 million left on the contract, offering £50 million instead. This was rejected by the league, which threatened to sue for £500 million. It claimed more than 30 clubs would go bust if the full amount wasn't paid.
You would hope that with companies of the size of Granada and Carlton, the amount of money they have, that deals will be honoured, because this is a doomsday scenario now, particularly for clubs in the lower divisions who've been finding it very hard.
Throughout, the government has been an anxious bystander. ITV Digital has been a major plank in its policy of ensuring digital reaches 95% of the country by the end of the decade. Today's developments raise fresh doubts about the viability of that goal. Nick Bashford, ITN.
Well, as we've just heard, ITV Digital has been placed into administration until April 15th. We can go live now to our business correspondent Ros Charles in the newsroom. I understand the judge made the announcement a few minutes ago about the future of ITV Digital. What detail can you give us?
The judge made the announcement in open court, or the administration hearing was conducted in open court, which is unusual in these cases. And he has granted administration orders, you said, until April the 15th. That basically means that the administrators, Deloitte and Touche, the accountants Deloitte and Touche, have 2 weeks to renegotiate the deal with the Football League. Just to remind you the details of that deal as they stand at the moment. The deal initially is £350 million over 3 years. That's to broadcast Nationwide League and Worthington Cup matches. ITV Digital still owes £178 million of that deal to the Football League, and they initially offered £50 million, which was resoundingly rejected by the Football League. So the administrators have 2 weeks to renegotiate that deal. If the ITV Digital lawyers said that if that renegotiation proves to be impossible, then ITV Digital will either be sold or will be put into liquidation. And as things stand at the moment, the process for administration, not exactly closure, it's like a stay of execution, if you like. So Carlton and Granada have agreed to continue funding the business to the tune of at least, analysts estimate, at least £30 million each, to keep ITV Digital going for the meantime. So subscribers, as things stand at the moment, shouldn't see any change.
OK, Ros. And have we heard any political reaction?
We have. We've heard from Tim Yeo, the Shadow Secretary of State for Culture, Media and Sport. He's described this as a bad day for television. He says the government could have done more to ease the problems of ITV Digital. Describes it as a serious development, a successful digital switch. That's the switch from analogue, which most people have on the TV, to digital television. The government eventually wants to switch off analogue services. That's in about 2010. He says a successful digital switch depends on the success of digital terrestrial television. So he sees this as a major blow.
Ross Charles, our business correspondent, thank you for joining us. Our sports correspondent Graham Miller is at Leeds Ground, Elland Road, where England are in action tonight. He says fans are concerned about what all this means for the future of English football.
Well, this whole story now is beginning to spread amongst the fans arriving early here at Elland Road for tonight's England match against Italy, and there is genuine concern among these football supporters, because if the fears are realised and perhaps a third or half of the 72 football clubs outside the Premiership do fold, there's a genuine fear here. What about the future of the England football team? Because traditionally, of course, the younger players learn their trade, learn their skills in the lower league clubs, make their way through and eventually, of course, play for the England team. So as a result of the consequence of this ITV Digital problem, if you wipe out as many as 30, 40 of those football clubs, the fear is, where do you provide the next generation of England players who hopefully will play for the country in the World Cup finals? That is the long-term effect this could create.
So what would the wind-up of ITV Digital mean for the future of digital television? Well, for more on the fledgling industry, turn to ITN's interactive services on digital cable.